Good afternoon, YouTube. You've been lied to, and I'm going to help you. Okay, I'm trying to do this video for a while now. It's going to be long, but please stay for the whole video. You're going to learn where you've been screwed over by all these YouTubers out there. Most of these YouTubers that are screwing you, by the way, on this belief system that heavy is better, they have an agenda to sell you products. Okay, broadheads, arrows, maybe a new bow, right? But they're going to make you believe that heavier arrows are better. But what they're not going to do is tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you how you attain more energy out of a heavier arrow. Okay, I'm going to teach you the whole magic behind all that stuff. Okay, it's not really magic anyways, it's just whatever. All right, so I got a 400 grain arrow. That's my hunting arrow, by the way. I have a 520 grain arrow. I ain't hunting with this thing. Right now I'm just target shooting. Anyways, I've got videos croning these two arrows. So, hey, I got a good memory. So 400 grains went 241 feet per second out of my bow. Okay, which is set at like 58 pounds of draw weight and 27 inch. Okay, I got 400 and 241. That gave me 51.6 foot-pounds of energy out of the light, fast arrow that they say is no good. You want to know what I got out of this puppy? 520 grains at 199 feet per second. 45.74 foot-pounds of energy. Huh? I thought heavier was supposed to be better, Kevin. Not in this case. We didn't change the power plant. See, I'm somewhat of a ballistics expert to a certain point, okay? And I run the numbers. I have a chronograph, okay? I run the numbers. I experiment with different arrows, okay? With different weights, different spines, different poundage setups on my damn bow, because I really don't feel like pulling 70 pounds because I can't do it. And 62 pounds, I hurt myself last time. But 58, I'm kind of like borderline insane. Okay, but I can do it, no problem. I can fire off about 200 arrows, and I am toast. Oh my gosh, I'm toast. Okay, and I can sit down, I can probably pop about 20, maybe 25 of them, really lucky. Okay, sitting down, because that's about 4 times harder than standing up and pulling. Let me tell you, it is no easy chore. Okay, so what happened here? We had 51.6 foot-pounds of energy and 241 feet per second, and now we're at 45.74 foot-pounds of energy at 199 bones. What happened? Well, we just shot a heavier arrow, man. I mean, this one hit the bullseye, but this one hit about 6 inches or so lower, aiming at the same spot. Okay, why? Because it's heavier and it's slower, and it also means that it's going to drop its energy pretty fast, too. But a heavier arrow retains more energy longer. If you've got horsepower behind it, I'm sure it will. Yes, it definitely will. But you don't have the freaking horsepower because you didn't modify the power plant. So that means cranking the limbs down, baby. Okay? Now, traditional bow shooters, if you're shooting a one-piece bow, go buy a new bow because you're going to need to. If you're a traditional shooter shooting a bow that has removable limbs, go buy some new limbs. Okay? That or get into compounds. They're a lot simpler to deal with. You don't have to buy any more crap. You just crank the wheels in, okay? A lot easier. Anyways, everybody's got their preference, right? And I don't care what you shoot. It's up to you. But just know that you're going to have to make some changes here. Now, how do we fix the problem? Okay, we need to find 13 feet per second. Okay? So that gives us 212. That at least gets us on even playing ground. Now that's 5191 to 5160. It's a couple of ounces. Okay, you're going to have to bite it. All right, it's a couple of ounces. But you need to find 13 feet per second in this to be equal in every way to this. Okay? So, but that doesn't give you more penetration, I'm sorry. It's still not going to do the trick for you. You need more energy to get more penetration. That's a fact. That's physics. That's the laws of the universe. Screw with them all you like. You're going to come up with the same problem. It's called insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same results. That's insanity, man, on a whole new level. You need to exceed the envelope. So, what if we get 230? That's 31 feet per second more, Kevy. How's that work? Easy, 61.10. That's an extra 9 point something foot-pounds of energy into this. But you need to find 31 feet per second out of your bow. That is going to be hard, if not impossible, for the majority of the bows out there. Okay? Keep in mind, I'm drawing 58 friggin' pounds, man. My bows go to 70, like yours probably does. Okay? Well, I'm already at 70 already. Well, then I guess you're going to have to buy a new friggin' bow. That's all there is to it. All right? I mean, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to bite the bullet and buy a new bow with more poundage and crank up the juice to make a heavier arrow work, which is pointless anyways. You know, heavy isn't always better. I mean, it is better for some things, obviously. Let me give you a lesson in projectiles, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure that you can see the picture well enough to know that I'm on an airgun friggin' website with their calculator. I'm not on ashbybowhunting.org because, well, it's BS. Because they can't account for any bow properly to give you proper results. Believe me, I've gone through their numbers enough times. Put in this, and this. That doesn't help me. You only have so much IBO speed, too. My slowest compound is like 265. And I've got that thing set up running some of these that I actually had cut shorter, just because. It's also only a 27-inch draw, and I'm experimenting, of course, some more. More to come in the spring on that one. But I had to set that thing to 50 friggin' pounds to launch those things to get decent accuracy with them, okay? And it only goes to 50 pounds, and it only goes to a 27-inch draw. I need a new bow. No, I don't. Not another right-handed one. I'm fine. I need more left-handed bows. I need a friggin' Hoyt, man. Anyways, donate to the cause. I need $800 and I can get a really kick-ass Hoyt that's only 2 years old. Anyhow, so I'm a pellet gun head, first and foremost, and I've been superior in the pellet gun world for friggin' decades, okay? This is where I get my ballistics knowledge from. A 7.9 grain pellet, traveling at 460 feet per second, okay? What do you think the energy output is? Well, it's pretty wussy, actually. It's 3.71 foot-pounds of energy, okay? Do not ever hunt with a friggin' non-POW pellet gun, because if you do, you need a slap, because you're not killing much of anything but a starling with that, and they're not edible, okay? Use a 22. Have some respect, okay? Now, we're only going to change the weight. We're not going to change the speed, but we're going to change that to 14.3 grain, which would be the average weight of a 22 caliber pellet, which actually has some killing force. Okay, but you could even do a 14.3 grain 177 pellet, but unfortunately you're going to slow your gun way the hell down. But let's just keep the speed, okay? So that would be 6.72 foot-pounds. So that's a heavy pellet running at 460. You are paying attention, right? You're still here? Okay? All right. So a 14.3 grain pellet running at 460 feet per second is 6.72 foot-pounds of energy. But the 7.9 at the exact same speed is basically about half. Okay? So 3.71. So if you were to take a pellet gun, now if you stick with the same caliber, and you take a 7.9 grain pellet and you fire it through, it's going to do 460. It's going to give you 3.71. But if you put in a 14.3 grain 177 pellet into the exact same precise freaking gun, what's going to happen? You're going to go slower, right? Because you're using a heavy projectile and you just lost a crap load of power out of the gun because it's pretty much about twice the weight, right? So you don't gain energy. It is bloody impossible to gain energy by just going from lighter to heavier. Your power plant was fine at 177, but it can't kill much more than a damn dead mosquito. But if you had the power plant modified to give you the same speed with a 14.3, now you've pretty much doubled your horsepower, which also means better energy retention, which means better accuracy, longer distance you can shoot at. Killing force power, I'd still do it within about 20 yards anyways with a 22 caliber pellet gun. Don't be a complete idiot here after all, okay? You only got so much killing force in 6.72 foot-pounds, so you're kind of limited 20 yards tops, and that's for like, well, your small squirrels. You're never killing a big squirrel, by the way, with a non-PAL 22 caliber pellet gun, okay? Doesn't work. You will kill a rabbit, though. You can kill a gopher, as long as you're within 10 yards, okay? But the small guys for squirrels, yeah, easy. 20 yards, shoot them in the head, lights out, okay? Done that lots. Anyhow, so, and they're edible. Starlings aren't, okay? So there's your lesson there, okay? So when you start talking about a 400 grain arrow that's traveling 241 feet per second, creating 51.6 foot-pounds of energy, if you have the same power plant capability to fire a 520 at that same speed, which most bows can't do that kind of speed with that weight, okay? The excessive weight of 520, okay? 67.8 foot-pounds of energy if you're at the same speed. But you won't be until you crank the juice up. And do you have enough juice left in your compound bow to do that? And do you have the physical capability of hauling back that extra power? The likelihood of you getting away with a 70-pound bow to do that kind of speed, I don't think it'll happen. We will test this in the spring because my Stinger actually goes to 70 pounds. And I will crank that thing and I will pull it with every bit of God-given energy I've got. And I will mangle that thing right through the friggin' chronograph as many times as I can to get an average to see how fast these 520s can really fly. Okay? And if we can get 241, then we can say at 70 pounds of draw weight with the 7-pound loss, which is multiplied, by the way, with a heavier arrow, okay, we're going to get 67 foot-pounds of energy. So, in this case. So 67 and 7 is actually 74. That's about 75 pounds. We only got 70. So 70 minus 67, that'd be only a 3-pound loss. But we already know we lose about 7. So we're not really going to get that. But if we could get that speed, then we'd be fine. But then that means we have to get this energy. But that would mean we also need at least 75 we need 75 pounds of bow weight for draw to get 6708 at 241 with a 520 grain. Where does the stupidity stop? Okay? Any honest channels that I have watched on YouTube, and there are quite a number of them, will already tell you that this goes right over there where it belongs. And you only need between 4 and 460 to hunt and kill anything even within 100 yards. Okay? Those are the honest guys. And for an extra 60 grain, even onto this thing, which I could very easily do, I might lose a couple of pounds of energy because I'm going to slow down. But if I give my bow limbs an extra, 4 pounds? I'm at 62 pounds. I can get pretty damn close again to that 240-ish, okay? But I am going to increase energy output. But where am I going to be at? Is it still going to keep me behind, or is it going to help me get ahead? Because every time you add more weight, you absorb more power on launch, okay? You lose speed, which means you lose energy. You need to find more energy, which is only going to be in your limbs. Okay? Which means you need to adjust your limbs or buy a new bow or, okay, get new limbs for your traditional bow in that case. Okay? You may even need to buy a new compound because I don't know where your compound bow sits at right now. But these are the facts. So every video you've watched where they've like, watch this heavy arrow, boom, 13 bottles, look at that. Now that's some energy output, folks. That's what we're talking about. That's why heavy is better, it penetrates better. At the same range, we're going to fire this lighter arrow now and watch, only 9 bottles. They tricked you, they lied to you. I just gave you the proof that they did that because less energy cannot penetrate better than more friggin' energy at the same range. Okay? And the majority of these guys that I've been watching, they're only shooting like 20 yards, okay? And, but we don't see them shooting. We see the bow initially in the video, but what we don't see is, what are the chances there's another bow? Because the amount of time it takes to dial in a second bow is peanut change, okay? To make it look like one is better than the other, which means one bow is running a lot less horsepower than the other at the exact same draw weight. That is the only way they could pull that off, where they would say 520 grains can penetrate 13 balls, but 400 grains can only penetrate 9 balls. I rest my case. We have a winner here. The heavier arrow will penetrate more. They're lying. I just proved it to you with the math. You cannot dispute the friggin' science here. This is solid science. This is solid laws of physics, laws of the damn universe. And ain't no human being alive can break that, okay? Can't be done. There's no way. So, facts are facts. You're going to have to deal with it, okay? I told you the truth, and if you don't like the truth, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Besides, I don't have any agenda in life other than to help you folks out. They have agendas to try and sell you new equipment, cool arrows, which they think are better when they're really actually not. You know, I mean, come on, this is a .006 straightness, I mean, and I have no problem hitting with these things at any range I've shot at, so, and I've shot these out to 53 yards and still gotten a, you know, what would be a double lung and heart shot even on a damn moose, okay, except it was a moose target, but my point is I shot at 53 yards, and in fact, I even did it with this arrow as well, because I've taken different bows to the club. All right, and I've shot that big moose lots of times at 53 yards. And either one of them can get the job done, but, well, this one seems to penetrate a little bit better than that one because, well, this one doesn't have the same amount of energy retention to it, so obviously it can't sink in as deep. So that tells you a story, too, about energy retention. Is it really there? No, because I didn't change the bow weight. Both bows are at 58 pounds. I just resighted one for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. Okay? I shot out. And voila! We're like magic. We got our answers. Okay? So, and I show you the math here, and the math is irrefutable. I've given you the proof. Do with it what you will. Say what you will. Share the video if you so choose. Okay? Inspired. All right? And let me know what you think. Okay? This is right. And all my testing proves I'm right. And from what I've seen on videos, they're all lying to you. Okay? They've lied to all of us. I mean, hey, come on. I was a little tiny bit gullible at the beginning of the year because I may have been shooting bows for over 40 years, but I did it the wrong way up until this year. Now I do everything the right way. And I've dumped like $5,000 plus into this archery thing to figure out what I need to figure out, not just for hunting, but I also wanted to do a lot of videos for you guys. And I wanted to find out, is this any better because it's straighter? Is this any better because it just costs more? And blah, blah. And what do I got to do to get this and that to work right? Because you know what? I don't believe all the crap I see on the internet either. And you shouldn't either. You should always test the system. Test the YouTuber for what they're telling you. Test me on the math. I guarantee you we're both going to be perfect because that math don't lie. Sorry, it just doesn't. And the reality of it, I'm sorry, but a heavier arrow is a useless piece of garbage unless you have the energy to back it up, and you only get that from speed. and you can't get more speed without making changes, and those changes are going to cost you maybe a new bow, or maybe it's going to cost you a lot more working out with your bow so you can pull those draw weights that you need. And even the draw weight you have left over may not even be enough to get you the numbers to make this arrow even bloody beneficial to you. Okay? So think of it that way too. Okay? And the shorter your draw length is, by the way, the worse off you're going to be. Okay? And the more out of touch or out of capability you're going to end up. So you might as well go back to what you were doing before that was working fine anyways. Anyhow, that's it. That's all. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought about the video. See ya.